going from Owl Canyon to Pine Bluffs, over to a power plant just west of Cheyenne, down to Briggsdale, back to Owl Canyon. Our pilot just went through the start gate, so I guess we better get back.
Notice 2.1, okay.
Did he already make the Pine Bluff?
I doubt it. Looks like he's lost it again out there.
097 to 097 ground.
Looks like he's heading east to the turn point.
Ready for a ritual beer. Let's shake it a little bit first, shall we?
I'm leaving.
You ready?
Bye.
I tell you, that was really an exercise in learning, wasn't it?
How to work nothing, huh? Suppose that's none over there?
There it is. You could almost throw a stone to the last turn point. Oh, gosh, a lot of people finished. A lot of them. I'm probably the only one out here.
I doubt it.
Boy, oh boy. Well, yeah, I wore the mask. You can probably see the marks here. I had the mask on, gosh, I suppose out of the 4 hours and 18 minutes, I probably had it on 3.5 hours. Well, I was sure glad to have it because I took it off at one point to do something, and I put it back on, and the world just brightened up like somebody had turned lights on. So I had, just in a minute or two, I had gotten a little bit hypoxic. You know, you could push it on up to 65 or 70.
Never go down.
And you don't really realize you're going that fast because it's so quiet.
Yep.
It's just a good old bird. Really? We have a tentative winner, Terry Sims, 320. And go ahead and get up.
Of course, the key was to fly the undercast or overcast. I don't know, our weatherman, I'm sure, is going to have a good explanation of this. The bands of virga that we flew constantly during the day. And at one point I mentioned the beautiful Mamatis to some of you, thinking that maybe you all know what Mamatis cloud is. It's a severe turbulence indicator, and as you know, those of you who contacted it, it shakes the ship from stem to stern and port to starboard, as they'd say in the Navy, like somebody was whipping a towel. However, my G-meter never showed more than about -1.5 and +2. My relief tube got up and waved at me a couple of times. But as long as you stayed with that, you're in good shape. About 9.5 miles north of Briggsdale. I was going to retrace my path north, and I saw that it was getting very flat up there, and I saw the beautiful Mamatis off to the west and headed for it, and the rain was almost reaching the ground, and I figured with all that great sink there had to be some lift around. So
you're wondering about this canopy and how I busted it. There was a situation here in the west that I'm not familiar with, flying from the east, and at a reasonable altitude, and I saw a ring of dust on the ground. It was maybe 300 to 400 feet in diameter, and I thought, this is great, this is a dust devil, lots of lift here. What I didn't know was that it was a downburst, and I flew into it. I was sinking fairly rapidly, and then I hit the vertical shear, tremendous downblast. It just took the airplane and yanked it out from under me. I stayed there and my head went right through the canopy, and I knew something was wrong, but it didn't. There was absolutely no cuts, no pains, no injury. Nothing happened other than that there was a big pow and then a howling, windy noise. I immediately found myself in about 800 to 900 foot per minute lift, so I just took advantage of that and went up to 16,000 or 17,000 feet, and then flew off and started thinking about what my problems would be if I had any. And there were no problems. Plane seemed to fly just as well, except that when I flew fast, it was a howling wind. I couldn't hear the radios, I couldn't hear my audio, and I had to slow up to talk to my crew. But I flew for an hour and a half after that, and really it was that lift that I got there that probably gave me another 40 miles or 50 miles that day and made a successful day out of it.
I've flown all kinds of gliders, the fiberglass planes and motor gliders, and I really do enjoy the 126 for two main reasons. One, it's a one design class, and this glider is over 30 years old and it's still competitive with the gliders that were made in 1978. And two is there's a cost. It's very inexpensive. We bought it in '69 for $2,000. Of course, now it's worth maybe $6.5 or $7. But it's you don't have to keep upgrading every year to remain competitive. This is as good as the latest one. Mm-hmm. And plus, it's a very trustworthy airplane. It's strong, and you know what it's going to do.
How you doing this?
I'm in second place.
Great.
I'm approximately 100 points behind Harry Baldwin.
Right now I've got a small lead, so try and hang on to it.
How's it look today?
Terrible. The clouds over here don't look too bad, but the ones out on course are non-existent, so right now it's just wait to see how other people stay up.
I've been in soaring for 5 years now. I enjoy the 126s the most. They're the most fun to fly. You can land them anywhere. You can go really far with them, where a lot of people think you're restricted. But we do diamond distance as well as the glass ships do. They're lots of fun. They're neat little ships. They're pretty. Just lots of fun to fly.
And we've owned this particular 126 for 23 years. She can vote. And she's a good shipper. We wouldn't have owned her for 23 years. There is no other way to teach good soaring than the 126, in my opinion. My husband's flying in this one because he's presumably defending his title. There were 17 ships out at Reno, Nevada last year, and a really neat small contest, which he was privileged to win. And so he now can see whether with a stronger field he can still do reasonably well. He's just happy to be where he is, and he's flown well. But this is really tough competition, so.
My name's Ed Thornton. I'm from Westcliff, Colorado, and I've been flying 126 for about a year. So it's my first contest, and learned a lot and had a lot of fun, so, and been very discouraged at times. So we'll see what today and tomorrow brings.
Did you switch to the 126, or were you flying other gliders?
No, it was my first glider. Charles is a defending champion this year.
Well, I tell you what, the best thing about the 126 is it's easy. You don't go as fast, you don't go as far, but you don't work near as hard to put it together, take it apart, get it to the runway. No water ballast, all this junk. You don't have to worry about a little scratch on the wing. You don't even have to wipe the dirt off if you don't want to, because it doesn't make any difference. So, the glider is great. The people are better.
somebody once called, I think it was A.C. Williams, the gray humility machine, and it ties us all together like a millstone. We're all pushing the same kind of iron, and it's a humbling experience to fly one of these, and I think that's part of the challenge. But sailboat racing, I mean, they have really great races with a very small little boat called a sabot that costs maybe $1,000, and that's it, but it's great fun if everybody flies the same one. I don't think there's any other championship like this in the whole world where people fly almost identical aircraft. That's fun. It's more fair. This is 24 years. It'll be 25 at his next birthday. Yeah, the old bird's pretty good. Everybody's into maintenance of these. You make silk purses out of sow's ears. You refabricate them and you repaint them, and right before the meet, everybody preens them up, just like a lady. And they're great fun. They really are. I had a glass ship at one time, and it really bothered me to have $25,000 tied up. I felt I should be flying it all the time. And now you have maybe $6,000 tied up, and I don't worry about it. I fly when I want to, and enjoy it more, I think.
How are you doing in the competition?
We're going to keep our fingers crossed. We're first place in team so far by only about 100 points, and we're maybe 150 points ahead of the third team. Keep our noses clean, we might win.
Great.
We'll try.
That's good.
I do want to tell you one thing before we do that, though. The FAA has surfaced again. I don't know, and they did wander down the line before they introduced themselves to me. So I'll introduce you to Mr. Keller, who wants to see 020?
Yes, 020.
And I'm going to leave that with you while I go do this.
Mr. John Green, would you please stand up?
Yeah, I really have to.
You're Mr. Green, are you? In the inspection this morning, we found your plane to be completely unairworthy. I have told the operator not to give you any tows today. Now, I want you to meet with me at your ship after the meeting.
Jack probably didn't even hear what was said.
I really did, John. He said he approved the repair.
Really? I didn't hear what was all that was said then. Well, we've heard so many little comments and complaints from the pilots east of the Mississippi that the weather was so different out here that we decided we'd call in some eastern weather. We had a trough pass last night. That was what produced the winds this morning. That's the black dashed line on the map here. That gave us a shallow dome of air about 2,500 feet thick with winds out of the north, and yet winds above that sheared around to coming out of the southeast and east. The first clouds that we saw this morning were being produced orographically. They were being forced, not by convection, but by the ridge off to the east of us, and as the flow went towards the hills. The day has come on. We've started to cook a little bit. We're going to have convection going, and that will mix up that shallow dome of air and get us back in connection with the air above it. It's going to be a slow process. Temperature rise such as it's been this morning, I'm looking for trigger to be about 74 degrees, and it will be around 12:30 according to the way the temperature's been rising.
Okay, let's select the takeoff times and let's get a contest day in.
113, 609, and 610. You all have film coming to you yet.
6, 8, 4. Early as possible back there. Is there anything left at all? What hour? 2 o'clock. Start. 2 o'clock. 1400. 1401. 1401.
2, 3, 8,
41.
5, 8, 0. 4, 4, 3.
19.
0, 4, 1.
42. 1402. 02.
It's dusty. I just got my eyes blown completely full of dust. But what the heck? Maybe we'll blow the next guy's eyes full of dust when we take off, and he'll never find the turn point. Ah, yes. This is going to be a good one. Old Ed Parton's out there on course already. He was the first one off, first one through the gate. And the last time I saw him, he was way out there, just going out of sight. So he may have picked the right strategy. You never know.
Anything over there?
Moment, open and close, guys. All right. Take it.
I'm just getting the front hills. That's the one we're going to
We've started all the pilots' meetings by having the prior day's winner tell us how he how he won the day. And perhaps we could start with that, Dave, if you'd want to come up. He did win that last day, you all know.
I was 103 points behind Harry going into yesterday, and I knew that I had to do more than just do well. I had to do real well, and I watched Harry start at kind of an early time, about, I'm not sure what it was, but about 50 minutes before I started, and I just waited for things to cook a little bit, and went out at I'm not even sure what my start time was, but it was kind of late. I was one of the last starters. And I waited for a street to drift into a line with the course to the first turn point, and just followed it down, and I caught up with Charlie Shaw about halfway down the first turn, and we ran together and mostly flying straight ahead and trying to work the best lift. I was looking for 7, had to settle for 5 and 6 and 4 a lot, and it was fairly uneventful. I got down low at the first turn, and the gaggle saved me, and we rode with the gaggle down to the second turn and got up high there and some good strong lift, and then it was one more thermal on the way home and a little weak one out there by none and glide in, and that was the flight.
Hey, way to go, Mark. Way to go, boy. 4-1 made it carry, man. Right behind you. That was fun. That was fun.
I remember last night when you talked to me.
In memory of my father, and I'm very proud to present it to Mr. Charles Shaw.
The 126 Association established some time ago a Paraggio Award, the highest honor that the 126 Association can bestow. And this year, the presentation will be announced by Ron Schwartz.
It's a real privilege to make this honor of our highest award, the Paraggio Award. It's an award given out annually to that pilot who has the most outstanding flight of the year, or to an individual who has made a noteworthy contribution and or dedicated service to the 126 Association. Originally, the first few years it seemed to go to outstanding flights. These latter few years, however, it's gone, and the trend has been more to the service end of this award. This year we're going to continue that trend on the service end. However, we're going to break the tradition just a little. It's always been an individual. This year we're awarding the Paraggio Award to 3 individuals. Probably without their dedicated efforts throughout the 30 years that we've had 126s around, we wouldn't be sitting here enjoying this meal today. We wouldn't have had a meet. In fact, we wouldn't have had an airplane. We'd probably all be frustrated ASW-20 pilots.
The Hartley Award is presented each year at the championship for the longest flight. And this year, the award goes to Harry Sen.
So the winner this time, a great team and some fantastic flights by this particular first-timer, Aircraft 097, Claude Liebensberger, was the winner from Irving, Texas, of the Davis E. Johnson Memorial Trophy and the first winner of that trophy.
I built the trophy. I don't take it very seriously. It's not important to me that I ever win this thing. But I thought it would be an easy way to get a shave. And it was an easy way because I didn't realize that Harry Sen was an old goat. But I shaved anyway because until he sends me a birth certificate, which I'm waiting for, if I don't get the birth certificate, I want him to send me the old goat. So one or the other, Harry, I gotta see it.
I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll send you my first Social Security check. Jack, unfortunately, did not look around the room the other day when they asked for hands as to those who were competing for the old goat trophy. And I think that he made the mistake of not reckoning with all of the young fellows who are coming along in the 60s.
The Australia Team Trophy was donated to the 126 Association by Arizona Soaring. It's a very nice item. We're proud to have it. And we'd like to present that one to Ladd and Wemple.
22nd, 126, National Soaring Championships, Charlie Shaw, 1906, third place, Al Canyon Glider Port, July 1986. Charlie, please come down. 22nd, 126, National Soaring Championships, Harry Bolton, 026, proceed. Second place, Al Canyon Glider Port, 1986.
And the winner, Dave Mockler, congratulations. Come up here.
Though I was flying as an individual, I think it's only right that I should recognize my crew, Beth Davis, because it was really a team effort, and I think that Beth is, in my opinion, the best crew here. Thank you very much.
One of the most lonely places anywhere is the glider port the day after a contest. I think we can all agree with that. One of the nicest things about a contest such as we have here is the opportunity to meet people, to see old friends, to make new friendships, to put a face and a personality, a person with a name. We've only seen names on lists. To Colorado Soaring Association, you were splendid hosts, and we were grateful for your hospitality. We trampled your tundra. We caressed your cacti. We have sampled some of your superb soaring conditions. We've been humbled by the majesty of your scenery. We leave with profound regrets because our time together was so short. To members of the 126 Association, Godspeed, safe soaring. See you in Caesars Creek.